All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. We'll get back to this story of this 19-year-old in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It is also interesting that we have these fascinating conversations off the air, and I say to myself, why do we have them off the air? We should have them on the air. So I want to continue this interesting conversation we were just having as we continue. But joining us in studio right now, it is news anchor John Schaefer bringing us the latest. John, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning, gentlemen. Well, as you mentioned in the last half hour, after 5 years of investigations and protests, a New York City police officer has been fired for the chokehold death of an unarmed black man. Police Commissioner James O'Neill announced today he has fired Officer Daniel Pantaleo based on a recent recommendation of a department disciplinary judge. Pantaleo is the officer who was recorded on video wrestling Eric Garner to the ground in 2014 with his arm wrapped tightly around Garner's neck. Garner's dying words of "I can't breathe" became a flashpoint in a national debate over race and police use of force.
Quickly, I just want to ask everyone in studio, do you think that officer should have been charged with a crime?
Absolutely, 100%. I think so.
JD, what do you say?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, he should have been.
I think he got off easy.
Metro Police negotiating with a man who's holed up in his car in Laughlin. The man allegedly robbed the Aquarius Casino early this morning. While fleeing the scene, he fired several shots at security guards but missed them all. Metro Police able to contain the suspect to his car in the parking lot. SWAT is on the scene negotiating with the man there.
If you were going to rob a casino cage in Nevada, that would probably be the I don't condone it, but that would probably be the last one that I would rob. How much money do you think that cage has? Probably.
I would anticipate in the low six figures range, like $100,000, right? In the entire cage.
Robbing a casino in Laughlin, that doesn't happen very often, does it? It's weird. This is news to me.
Maybe that's why he chose to rob.
Well,
that
it didn't. It doesn't sound like he worked out very well for him. Thank God nobody was hurt. That's
right.
The most important. Thank God nobody's hurt and they caught the guy.
1 week into the new school year, and the Clark County School District and Teachers Union still at a stalemate over a new 2-year contract. Over the weekend, the Teachers Union voted not to accept a contract offer from the district. The union says a strike is still on the table, and they've given the district until August 22nd to present them with a new contract.
Yeah, here's what they should do. All the students should go on strike, and they should say, why is it that this is one of the worst school systems in the country? That's what they should do. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, especially after they spent $4.2 billion last year.
Yeah, 700 vacancies, too. 700 teachers, spots that are not filled.
Third largest district in the United States of America.
It's ridiculous. They definitely have their work cut out for them. The things need to improve here.
Southern Nevada Health District using the word outbreak to describe a sharp spike in Hepatitis A cases reported mostly among homeless people and drug users. In 7 months from November to June, it counted 83 cases of the virus that causes liver damage and can lead to death. It's far more than the 58 cases reported in 2016, 17, and 18 combined.
Ugh.
There you go.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
But any reasoning why there would be a spike in 2019 as opposed to other years? I don't understand why that would take place.
I think a lot of that has to do with tattoos and needles for tattoos.
A lot of homeless people getting tattoos.
Who knows? Absolutely.
It's possible, I guess.
And Disneyland Resort just launched the bare necessities of any vacation: vegan cookies, snack bars, and dairy-free milk chocolate. According to the news, the new treats are available at the Candyland Palace at Disney's luxury resort. Called Snacks with Character, the line is completely vegan and free from top allergens like soy, nuts, and gluten.
Okay. Vegan food is disgusting. Do we have, John? Do we not have any vegan sponsors here? Because I don't want to. Vegan food is just awful. I had Chinese food at this vegan place, and it looked like meat. It tasted like crap. It was awful.
I had a vegan oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Now I only ate it because there was nothing else I could eat.
What is vegan ice cream? What is that?
I ate one. It was just like a watered down OCP. You know, it just was not the same.
Yeah, I've tried it too. And again, if people want to be vegan, that's great. I'm all for you doing that, but I don't like it. So don't get on my case because I like to eat meat.
I had to camp out 2 years ago in California, and it was like kind of like a Burning Man type thing. The only food they served was vegan food for 3 days. I was as ornery as I already am. Just multiply that times 20. Okay, I just wanted a freaking candy bar. Just give me something. Give me a soda. I couldn't even get a soda there. The only thing I could get that was normal was water. It was disgusting. Vegan food is gross. Stay away from me.
But, John, isn't this the natural progression, though? Whether it's sports arenas, whether it's stadiums, whether it's amusement parks, we're going from just having the basic fare of hot dogs and giant pretzels and nachos to now where you have that variety. You have a chance to, maybe partake in something that is a little more specialized these days.
And that's fine
if
they have options for people who are vegan, but don't take away the other options because I want a hot dog at a stadium.
That's why we live in Vegas, because we love options, right? If you want to live that crazy lifestyle on the Strip, you can do that. We know John is partying it up every night, right, John?
Every
Isn't
night.
that true?
Sometimes I stay out
Club
till
hopper.
7.
I could see it. I could see it all
But
day
if
long.
you want the quiet lifestyle and live in Summerlin and go to a private school or do some, you can have that quiet lifestyle as well. You have the option if you want crappy vegan food, or I can go across the street to McDonald's and get a fish fillet with extra tartar sauce. I can do that. It's America. It's Las Vegas. We've got options here. It's not like Rachel, Nevada, where there's no food, no options, right? Although there is a burger
Little
joint down there.
alien.
Yes.
There is the Alien Burger in Rachel, Nevada,
Which you went to,
which
by the way.
apparently
I went to
is,
Manhattan, it is good.
and Kanye West confirmed it was world class.
Really? Really?
That's what Kanye said.
Oh, well, I take whatever Kanye West says, I take to heart because he's always right. Anyway, Mr. Schaefer, we'll let you get back to work now. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy that vegan breakfast.
Enjoy
will.
it, John.
Back to your conversation from
Right.
off the air.
Yes. Thank you, John. That's John Schaefer with the news here. Always appreciate it when he stops by. And, we were just having an interesting conversation basically about racism in this country. Is it real? Yes, I say it is. Does racism come from all sorts of different angles? It does. But here's what I want to bring up in regards to, I guess you could call it reverse racism. Here is a situation where I think a white officer is treated differently because he's white, and I believe if he was a black officer, I'm not sure this is what happened. Here's what happened.
Okay.
And I got into it a little bit, but I want to talk a little about this. 19-year-old Devon Bailey, Colorado Springs, Colorado. He's seen with his friend in the middle of the street. And cops are called. They're matching a description of someone who had just committed a robbery with a handgun. So there's a video of this. Police body cam was released. So they stop these two individuals, these police officers, and they're just going by protocol. They say, guys, here's what we're doing.
Right.
You match the description of blah, 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 blah. We just had a robbery, so I need you to with your hands up, and we're going to do a body search. So both their hands go up, and within a few seconds, when someone's just about ready to do a body search, one of the kids takes off, running from the police officer. Right. His name is Devon Bailey. Now, you can see in the video, keep in mind the mindset of police. Whether he's running from you or not, when he puts his hand towards his waistband in any way, shape, or form, and police believe that he could have a weapon on him, I believe that is enough justification to shoot somebody. I absolutely do.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well,
completely
I disagree.
I completely disagree with you.
First of all...
Okay, all right, first of all, you're saying that he was... Let me get the whole thing set straight. You're saying that the suspect was running away from the police, but he was reaching into his waistband. What is he going to do? He's running away, and he's going to turn around and fire back at the officers? Is that what you're anticipating is going to happen?
When police officers, your microphone is not on. Make sure
your mic up.
Yeah, the question is, who else is he a threat to? Because he has a weapon. He's obviously dangerous. He just committed a crime. Who else is he a threat to?
That's also a good point.
Yeah, but there's also, the use of deadly force by officers. Why can't they just tase him? You know what I mean? You have tasers on you, right, where you can tase the guy if he's running away.
No.
It's not. He's running away from the officers, got shot in the back. Okay, that's what happened, right? That's how he was killed.
Let me start from the beginning.
So,
okay, now I said it before and I'll say it again. Police officers, are not. They shouldn't be judge, jury, and executioner, and I understand that.
Well, you're making that point. You're saying that, but then you're saying you're justifying that they are the judge, jury, and executioner.
Let me start from the beginning. First of all, if somebody is dumb enough to commit I'm going to get to the evidence in a second. Just hear me out here. If somebody is dumb enough to rob somebody at gunpoint, if somebody is dumb enough to not comply with police officers when you have a gun on you, if somebody is dumb enough to run from police officers with his hands not in the air, clearly reaching down, you can see it in the video, you deserve what is coming to you. With that being said, police officers have reasonable suspicion to believe that this individual has a gun on him, which, by the way, he did. He was the person that just robbed somebody minutes before. Whether he's reaching, for a risk for something, whether it's a gun or not, and whether you say to yourself, well, what was he going to do? Was he going to turn around and shoot the officers when he's running away? He is a threat to society. He just committed a robbery. He has a weapon on him. He is a legitimate threat to society. So it's not just, are the cops in danger of their life? That's not the only factor here in shooting somebody. The other factor is he a danger to society? And I would say, yes, he is.
And he's also a criminal. He just committed a crime.
I would say he's a serious danger to society.
I do agree that he should have been shot.
hey,
he shouldn't have been shot in the back. He should have been shot somewhere else.
They are not trained to shoot anywhere else.
I understand, but he should have been shot somewhere else, not in the back.
All right, you guys are saying he's a criminal, okay? If he's a criminal, then why don't the officers arrest him on the spot? When why is there any discussion, or why did they just talk to him and ask? There was some kind of ambiguity, or they didn't know
I will give you
that
the
he
answer.
wasn't the guy?
I will give you the answer to that. They were following typical protocol. They released a description that matched these two suspects, okay? The police officers verbalized that. The next thing that they were doing, police protocol, was patting the suspects down. That was the next thing. You can't just arrest somebody like that. They were going to pat the suspects down to see if they were the exact suspects, and did that individual have a gun, which, by the way, he did. They would have been arrested right after that pat down. Instead, the dummy decides to run from the police after committing a robbery, and that is a very dangerous situation. When police believe that you have a gun on you and your hands aren't up and the police can't see that, and his hands go down and he's running from the police, I would absolutely say that the cops made the right decision, and here's why. He is a danger to society. Who knows what he would have done with that weapon after running from the police? Who knows what's on his mind at that point? He knows he's a suspect. He knows he just committed a very serious crime. He has an illegal weapon on him. Now, who's to say this, Chris? Who's to say he doesn't go into a house and hold people hostage? Who's to say he doesn't kill somebody?
I understand that.
That's why I'm okay with this.
My question still stands. Why don't you just tase the guy? It'll immobilize him, and he'll be down. He'll be on the ground. If
police believe that somebody could be a threat to either themselves or somebody else, and there are certain situations where they don't take out the taser because that might not work effectively. You shoot to kill. You shoot to center mass.
It'll immobilize the suspect in place.
Easy to Monday morning quarterback.
Okay, so you're saying deadly force is the only option. Is that what you're saying? Deadly force is the only option.
I didn't say deadly force.
Kill the guy, shoot the guy in the back.
I didn't say that.
He didn't get shot at point blank range, face to face with a guy. He was running away. That's the aspect of this.
Number one, I don't feel bad.
Look, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
At all.
I agree with the point you make as far as and by the way, it's just an opinion point that you're saying. Well, if he's dumb enough to run away, that's an opinion. That has nothing to do with procedure, police procedure,
yes,
or the
does.
way that. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, saying somebody that is an idiot and for robbing somebody and then running away.
Police procedure.
That's not a thought process of police officers when it comes to how they conduct themselves in a shoot to kill scenario like this, or in a scenario where someone ends up dead that's running away from them.
Because you're running away from somebody doesn't mean that they could pose a serious, deadly threat to society or the officers. Now, do I know what was going through his mind? No.
It doesn't mean they can't, you're saying.
Right.
It doesn't say they can't if they're running away.
Here's what we do know. Okay, we know that he just committed a robbery at gunpoint, which is a serious crime. Does that mean he deserves to be shot and killed?
Fact.
No.
We don't know if they'd known that, they would have arrested on the spot. Again, it would have been.
I understand that, but I'm just going by the frame of mind of the officers in this situation. When he's running from the police, when he matches the description of somebody that has a gun on his person, and he just committed a robbery at gunpoint, he is a serious, and I would even go as far to say deadly threat to society.
Oh, he's definitely a deadly threat to society.
Now, police,
how could he not
be? It is their job to protect and serve. In that certain situation, I believe they are protecting us as citizens. Yeah. I don't want somebody like that running with a gun around my neighborhood.
Well, yeah,
who knows what happens?
Because he's scared. You don't know what he's going to do. You know if he's going to try to abduct anybody or kidnap someone or pull somebody at gunpoint. You have he is definitely a threat to other people.
Exactly. And
so I don't have an issue with shooting him. I don't like shooting him in the back.
My whole thought is that, look, after the fact, we understand he had a gun on him. Okay, we now do know after the fact that he did commit a violent crime, a robbery. But it's, this is not stuff that the police officers, you talk about frame of mind, Brian, this is not something that they knew 100%. So, by your process and by what you're talking about, you would say, okay, so if there is somebody that's in a truck, okay, that happened to rob a bank or something, and they're being chased by police officers, then it'd be justified for the police department to have, basically a drone in the sky and just blow away the truck and just completely destroy it and kill everybody inside the truck because they're fleeing a scene. Because they could be a dangerous society and rob another bank. You know what I'm saying? You understand the point I'm trying to make, right?
Let me pose this question to people out there listening, and we want to get their opinions on this. What do you make of a case of a 19-year-old that's running from the police, that police believe is a suspect with a gun on him that just committed a robbery, and if this kid reaches down underneath his waist, whether it was for his gun or not, do you think police are justified in shooting him in the back? We'll take your phone calls right now. The GCI Guys Hotline is open. That number to call, 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the program right now, 257-5396. Look, there's no question that in certain circumstances, police are not justified in some of these shootings, a small minority of them. But the majority of these shootings are justified, and it usually starts with noncompliance by the criminal. In this case, clearly a criminal. We look at Ferguson. We look at what happened in Ferguson. We look at the Michael Brown situation where he was treated as a hero. Make no mistake about it. Michael Brown was not a hero. He was a criminal who went after that police officer. Why? Because evidence overwhelmingly showed that he tried to attack. He did attack that police officer, go after his gun. There were African Americans that actually testified that Michael Brown charged towards the officer. But in the weeks before we heard all the evidence, Michael Brown was painted out to be a hero. People in Barack Obama's administration painted him out to be a hero. They even went to his funeral, some members of Obama's administration. Disgusting. This guy posed a threat to the community. He posed a threat to the police officers, and he got, in my opinion, what was coming to him. If you are dumb enough to attack a police officer, if you end up being 6 feet underneath the ground, don't feel sorry for you one bit. I feel sorry for your family. I feel sorry for your friends or anyone that knows you. Don't feel sorry for Michael Brown. As far as I'm concerned, he is where he belongs. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I understand the circumstances in this shooting are very, very different. But again, you put yourself in that situation. If you hold somebody at gunpoint and rob them, you have an illegal gun on you, and police tell you, clearly you're already caught, right? You're already caught. The police have caught you. Put your hands up and comply. This kid probably would have gone to jail for maybe 5 years. He would have had a second chance in society, but what does the dummy do? He runs from the cops. What should parents teach their kids? Unfortunately, there are many parents out there that are saying cops are the enemy. Don't listen to them. In that situation, you have to comply with the police officer. We'll take some phone calls on this again, 257-5396, 702-257-5396. Go to Chuck. Chuck, what's going on? Chuck, are you there?
Let me I'm a little off topic here. In Philadelphia, wasn't there a shooting like a week ago? I might have missed it. You might have talked about it. They shot 6 cops.
Yes, 6 cops were injured. Yes, and that person was
in Philadelphia.
Is that worthy of discussion or no?
I'm sorry?
Is that worthy of discussion right now?
Well, I mean, it really doesn't have a lot to do with this specific case. Luckily, there was some great police work, Chuck, in there, and maybe we'll get to that coming up in the next segment. But certainly, we want to focus on what happened here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. That number to call the GCI Guys Hotline is 702-257-5396. Let's go to Ron. Ron, what's going on?
Good morning, gentlemen, and I wish you all peace and love. Today is going to be a great day. The reason I'm calling, and I agree with you 100%, but I want to go just one step before what happened, okay? There was a robbery at the store, okay? The guys come on the street, walking down the street.
Hold on, you're talking about Michael Brown. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly, okay. The Ferguson situation. Now, here's what I'm getting at. My point is this. You hear so much about this kid, Michael Brown, all right? Like you guys said, they had witnesses there that said he was wrong. But why do you hear everything about Michael Brown and you never hear about the officer's name? You never hear about the owner of the store that Brown assaulted when he stole his cigars and walked out the door? I saw the video. I saw the whole thing. Why aren't these people's names ever mentioned?
Well, I talk about
heroes.
Ron, I understand. I talk about that officer all the time. The true victim.
Yeah,
the true victim.
But nobody says his name.
Okay, hang on.
You know his name?
The true victim here is that officer because he'll probably never get a chance to be a police officer again.
Never. It's a shame.
Yes, and there are situations where the true victim here is that police officer because he went through hell, and all that guy did was do his job and do it well, quite frankly, and his life was in jeopardy because of that scumbag Michael Brown.
Right.
And there are
Now let me ask you the same question again. Do you remember the officer's name?
I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember his name. I don't.
That's the whole truth. That's why I'm calling.
Darren Wilson is his name. Darren Wilson.
You all know Michael Brown's name, but nobody knows the name of the officer.
Well, I can answer your question as to why that's the case. That's the case because Michael Brown was shot and killed, right? He was the one that was, and at the end of the day, that's why we know his name. That's why, this has been a focus of everybody outside of Ferguson in the United States of America. That's why we know about it, is because one person died. Now, look, no one denies that officers do a tremendous job, and day in and day out to protect and serve in this country. And the massive majority of officers are good people. But they do work on a kind of a process of anonymity, right, where they're not going to be, you're not going to hear their names all the time. As far as the officers involved.
I agree with that assessment. Thank you for the call, Ron. Ron, you were very calm today. We'll take more of your phone calls at 257-5396. Take a quick break. Be back right after this. You're listening to the Vegas Take. All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. So glad you could join us. When we come back, Donald Trump going after Anthony Scaramucci again. You're not going to believe what he said this morning. It's kind of outrageous. But then again, it is Donald Trump, so nothing should surprise you. Also, referring to Fox News as we, that's what Donald Trump did over the weekend. And also a crazy story. One of the most popular porn stars on the planet 3 or 4 years ago. She was spotted in Las Vegas over the weekend, homeless, living underneath an overpass. This is a wild and crazy story. You're not going to believe it, and we have the audio to prove it coming up here in just a few minutes. Of course, we'll also take your calls on the GCI Guys Hotline, which is 702-257-5396. Again, 257-5396. If you want to be a part of the show, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You are listening to the Vegas Take.